Love India? You are not alone. At 75, we've been through a lot, and it's time to look back. This is India at 75. And these are the people who are proudest of it.
A wise person once said, "The success of the young entrepreneur will be the key to India's transformation in the new millennium." A warm greetings to everyone. Myself, Amnika Sirish of Class 8 from Sri Shingara Vidyapeetham, Kannur, Kerala. Small businesses' journey of employment. The employment issues are evident in India, especially in times of the pandemic. But small-scale industries and small businesses have always been creating employment opportunities in India. After the agriculture industry, the small-scale industries are the second largest employment generator in India. According to the International Journal of Scientific and Engineering Research, which is USER, from 1993 to 1998, the employment generation grew by 81% from small-scale industries. By the financial year 2020, over 110 million people were working with micro, small and medium enterprises, which is MSME. Big e-commerce platforms like Amazon, Snapdeal and Flipkart increased employment in the MSME sector. The ease of doing business with Amazon helped create 1 million direct and indirect jobs in micro, small, medium enterprises, which is MSME, in India since 2013. According to the KPMG study, the MSMEs, which are actively online and sell on e-commerce, hire employees 5 times the number of employees hired by the offline MSME. Today, India currently has more than 48 million of small businesses, double the number of small companies in the US. Delivering the keynote address at India IT Summit organized by the US-India Business Council, PM Modi noted that the reforms undertaken in the past 6 years have ensured increased competitiveness, transparency, expanded dignitization, and led to more policy stability. Efficient management and sufficient capital are those few key ingredients without which a sustainable and profitable business is not possible. What is the future of India? Can anybody give a definite answer? No, I think because we can't predict future with a set percentage accurately, since it depends on a lot of factors beyond our control like natural disasters, etc. Based on the current factors, most of the financial experts predicts India has a bright future in the business in the coming years. And again, it depends upon the policy decisions of the coming governments. Technology is the field of future business, new innovations and services. Coding softwares and stuff like these will be profitable future business ventures in the country. Moreover, all the running business in the developed countries which are gradually coming into our nation. Once we decide we need to do something, we can go miles ahead. Thank you.
As the famous proverb goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I wish everyone watching a very warm welcome. I am Honorata Bandapathy of Class 8 from the Heritage School, Kolkata. Mother Nature has provided us with a number of valuable resources. But instead of utilizing them in a judicious and sustainable manner, we have abused our privileges. From cutting down millions of trees to excessive emission of greenhouse gases, we have torn away the jewelry that adorn our mother. Thus, she is angry. She vents her fury on us in the form of explosive earthquakes, tumultuous tsunamis, catastrophic cyclones, ferocious floods, and pernicious plagues. The main focus of today is not to criticize the harm that we have done to our earth, but to analyze if we have improved our countermeasures for these disasters. Modern technology has achieved great heights. For example, with development of architecture, we have constructed sturdier buildings which are less prone to damage. The forecasting and forewarning of natural disasters have undergone significant advancements. Over a century ago, the methods used to detect natural disasters were severely limited. As a result, the aftermaths of disasters were devastating. However, the invention of the radar and other such devices have enabled us to minimize our losses. Preparation through education is less costly than learning through tragedy. In today's world, the statement still stands true. Governments across the world have started to enact schemes and set up training camps to educate the masses. They ensure in times of danger the people follow the correct procedures. In doing so, a lot of the risk is mitigated. Specific locations across the globe have been marked as disaster prone. These areas have been given special importance. This targeted and focused approach has saved countless lives. To conclude, we have got better at dealing with the wrath of Mother Earth. I am sure that in the future, we will continue to develop and enhance our measures. However, the most effective action will always be to weed out the root cause. We can accomplish that through environmental conservation, but that is a topic for another day. Thank you for patiently listening to what I had to say.
Good morning. My name is Sathya Ekya of Grade 8 from Ekya School, Baahubali. I'm here to speak to you about the making of India's best movie, Baahubali. Released as the most expensive Indian film in 2015, Baahubali The Beginning took the entire country by storm and blurred the boundaries of Bollywood and regional cinema like never before. The visual extravaganza blended with breathtaking locales, mind-blowing special effects, and an emotional storyline struck the right chord with the pan-Indian audience and ended with an epic cliffhanger when Amarendra Baahubali gets killed by his confidant Kattappa in an unexpected turnaround of events. The Beginning became the first non-English film to be screened at the renowned Royal Albert Hall in London. Besides with the screening of the magnum opus on the giant screen, the world premiere was accompanied by M.M. Kearwani's epic score performed live by the Royal Philharmonic Concert Orchestra. Besides this remarkable achievement, the major highlights of the grand event was standing ovation from the audience, traditional attire of Rajbani, and the attendance of original cast members. With an estimated expense of over rupees 200 crore, Baahubali became the most expensive Indian film at the time of release. The budget escalated by around 40% from the original estimate, and the movie took 3 years to hit the theatres. The war sequence between Mahishmati Kingdom and the Kalakaya, which is considered as the major highlight in the first installment, has been shot for 6 months with over 1,500 junior artists, 200 to 300 horses, and a dozen elephants in a specially erected set at the Ramoji Film City. Nearly rupees 30 crore was spent on the climax itself. Not many know that almost 90% of Baahubali involved computer-generated imagery and graphics with some 4,500-5,000 visual effects shots. Hundreds of artists from over 15 visual effects and animation companies worked on the project. Art director Sabu Sairil and a force of 2,000 carpenters, painters and rock makers built the empire of Mahishmati at Ramoji Film City in Hyderabad in 2013. Not only did they build 2 places and statues, but also mechanical animals including bulls, horses and elephants. Thousands of extras were roped in for the battle sequence, which were pre-visualized with the help of John Griffith, who has worked on films like Planet of Apes and the X-Men series. The result is a predominantly made-in-India project with a narrative core rooted in Indian myths, but with an international look and universal appeal. Let's celebrate the glory of India at 75. Thank you.
India. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word India? Well, apart from the fact of India being a country in Southeast Asia, labor is something that India is known for. All around the world, Indians help in the labor work to support the industries of the 21st century run ever so smooth with science and technology at its very peak. A very good morning, afternoon or evening. My name is Ayan Zaro. I study in class 7 at Indus International School, Hyderabad. Today, I will be talking about labor, specifically India's support to the labor workers in the past 75 years, while also looking at brief glimpses of the role technology and science has to play with the future of India and labor. There are four labor codes as laws in India: Code on Wages, Industrial Relations Code, Code on Social Security and Occupational Health Safety, and Health and Working Conditions Code. The Code on Wages focuses on dealing with payment, overtime, bonus management, etc. India's minimum pay wage has been improving, with it being approximately 38 rupees in 1996 to 178 rupees in 2019. Yet India has a far way to go, with being 72nd on the global minimum wages list, and the whole ranking being done of only 106 countries. Yet in this pandemic, India has helped the migrant workers and labourers who want to return back to India. India launched the Garib Kalyan Rojgar Abhiyan initiative to tackle the negative impacts of COVID on the labourers. It was a rural public works scheme which got initial funding of 50,000 crore rupees or 6.6 billion USD to support the unemployment rise. In the future, labour is considered to be one sector which will truly be revolutionized with AI, machine learning, and the increasing and incessant development of science and technology. The current technological progress has led to a demand of more skilled workers who can perform tasks using judgment and intelligence as routine activities are performed by technology. This may seem to cause unemployment for those who do not have the education to work in less mundane activities in the labour sector. But long term, we can see that there shall be more better working conditions for workers as they do not face mundane activities in harmful environments. And the wages shall continue to increase with people performing better jobs. This hints as a tipping point for most of the people in poverty in India to start moving up the economic ladder. Technology will also increase productivity, which will help the development of India speeden up, with technology being able to do hard work in less time, with barely any energy consumed. The manpower is lower, the costs are lower. Everything will work in a system that runs seamlessly. We all debate every day as to why India is still a developing country and how, if in the past we would have done better, we could have reached great heights. But as we look into the future, with technology development becoming global, we see a bright future for India as we celebrate the victory of our fathers and mothers while also smiling at the bright path ahead for the new India.
75 years ago today, the Indian Constitution was being written. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee and aided in writing the Constitution that built the basic laws and rights that we enforce in our country today. The Indian Constitution is the longest constitution in the world, with laws that protect every aspect of Indian lives, rights for minority groups to access to basic resources such as water. Over the past 75 years, the Indian Constitution has been the pillar holding up the country and guiding this country towards equality. India is a very diverse country with 121 recognized languages, and the Constitution was able to recognize this and cater to the diversity that across India. The Indian Constitution was able to provide minorities with the rights that they deserve and ensure that they would not be exploited by more privileged groups. The Constitution was able to protect Indian citizens by providing economic and social justice for all. The Constitution allowed kids to have access to free education, the youth to be able to vote, and for families to have access to basic rights such as water. Over the past 75 years, the Constitution has been able to make a drastic impact on the rights that every class in India deserves. Whether one is economically challenged or not, the Constitution was able to cater to the needs of everyone and provide an equal India. This has reflected on the decisions and systems that have been implemented after the Constitution as well. Living in a state like Hyderabad that has so much diversity and so many minority groups, protection of minority groups is something that's really important to me. And I have seen how Article 15 in the Constitution has directly impacted and positively affected groups around me and in the vicinity. The Constitution is still effective to this day, and it is so detailed that it is able to provide a strong stepping stone towards the progression of India. The Constitution supports many ideas such as equality for all, which brings justice and equal rights to all Indian citizens. Without the Indian Constitution, India certainly wouldn't have progressed this far towards equality. And as India is taking steps towards greater equality, the Constitution is and has been the basis for crucial decisions and impacts on our future greatly. The Indian Constitution is so strong that the morals and values that it supports are still correct to this day, and the Constitution isn't outdated like many others. The Constitution is still very practical and for the future of India, and it is able to provide a path towards a brighter and greater future for India. The Constitution has been able to provide 75 years of strength and support to India, and it will continue to do so for a very long time. Our past actions impact our future decisions, and the Constitution is a perfect example for that. We will continue implementing the Constitution as we progress in India.
Our beloved world record holder once said, "Numbers have life. They are not just symbols on paper." Warm welcomes to everyone. I am Ayush Singh from the Martiniere for Boys, Kolkata. The last decade rendered some classical films in the biographical genre, and following it, many makers decided to unearth more and more legends from history. The major heart-winning factor in those biographical sketches were the inspirational tales of legendary personalities. A genius personality like Shakuntala Devi could not be left out behind by directors, and on the obvious cornerstone, it transformed into a biopic. However, the producers failed to conjuncture where to pick from the legend's life and what to ricochet. The film doesn't look like an inspirational anecdote for the moment. Instead, it is a defamation for the genius's mind because of a disastrous personal life. There are no legitimate reasons shown in the film on how Shakuntala Devi became the world-famous personality and how she did her miraculous calculations. Shakuntala Devi had a miracle of a brain to be able to crack such humongous numbers. But her ability was that she could do the calculation in seconds. How did she grasp the ability to understand the square root, cube root of other different formulas and functions of mathematics without any formal education? After seeing this movie, one is going to shun Shakuntala Devi as a person. Instead of showing the human calculator's achievements, the movie focuses more on the darker side of the protagonist. The movie never showed Shakuntala Devi as a 3-year-old child playing with the father, showing her card tricks until he recognized her ability to memorize huge numbers. However, the world has always appreciated her talent and her love for numbers, and there was no necessity for a movie to prove it. Shakuntala Devi was invited by several educational institutions, and in 1977, she visited the Southern Methodist University in Texas, USA. There, she was asked to calculate the 23rd root of a 201-digit number, which she solved in just 50 seconds. It took more than a minute for the UNIVAC computer to solve it. She is best retrieved for demonstrating the multiplication of two randomly picked 13-digit number on 18th June 1980. She correctly answered a 26-digit number in 28 seconds. This unbelievable feat of hers earned her a place in the Guinness Book of World Record in 1982. If this does not fascinate anyone, then nothing can. And we Indians have always acknowledged the expertise and the brilliant minds of such personages like her. Contributions by Indians in the field of mathematics is not depreciating as per many critics. Ramanujam and Shakuntala Devi have always been there, along with manifold others, just like the new fastest human calculator in the world. after winning a gold for India in the Mental Calculation World Championships at Mind Sports Olympiad. 20-year-old Neelkant Prakash has made us proud. India's progress in mathematics is rapidly increasing, and so should educational systems promote it. If India progresses in the field of mathematics and science considerably, we might have another Shakuntala Devi by the next few years.
What is yoga? Yoga is a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices or disciplines. Yoga consists of asanas, physical postures, Surya Namaskaras, set of asanas, pranayama, breathing techniques, meditation, and relaxation methods. These are the scientific components of yoga that attract people towards it. Yoga originated in the Indus Valley civilization in northern India over 5,000 years ago. According to the scriptures and beliefs, we consider Lord Shiva as the father of yoga and Patanjali as the father of modern yoga. Yoga decreases stress, relieves anxiety, and promotes quality sleep. It was Swami Vivekananda who first introduced yoga to the Western world. Initially, yoga was considered a spiritual practice, but by the 1980s, it became popular as a physical system of exercise. The world, since 2014, has gradually realized the value of yoga and the role it plays in having a healthier life in a cost-effective way. When our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the UN General Assembly reintroduced yoga. The gist of his speech means yoga is an addition of energy, strength, and beauty to the body, mind, and soul. That really had an impact on the people. The UN, after Narendra Modi's speech, declared 21st June as the International Yoga Day. The world fell in love with yoga because of the techniques it offers to unite the mind, body, man, and nature. It's an art and science of a healthy living. Now, these impactful words of Swami Vivekananda and Prime Minister Modi really influenced the world towards yoga. In the present scenario, due to the sudden switch over to online mode of work, it has increased the stress and workload of people. And they're in a dearth of physical and mental relaxation. But yoga has a solution for that. The practice of meditation, asanas, pranayama, relaxation methods have proven to decrease stress levels and increase immunity. We can energize ourselves using yoga. I feel yoga will continue to grow and create new forms of physical exercises by mixing with other forms of exercises like euphoric yoga. It's a blend of yoga, Indian classical music, and dance. HIT, high intensity workout. I feel yoga will continue to grow and create new forms of physical exercises by mixing with other forms of exercises like euphoric yoga. It's a blend of yoga, Indian classical music, and dance. HIT, high intensity workout. It is a fusion of yoga and a HIIT cardio workout. The increase of modern day stress will also lead to the rise of practice of yoga. Now, yoga is a multi-billion-dollar business worth over $84 million worldwide. I conclude by saying, yoga is a practice of calming your mind. It's not about self-improvement, but self-acceptance. It cures what cannot be endured and helps endure what cannot be cured. Thank you.
Mobile phones and accessible communication forms the backbone of a complex contemporary society. It's a common man's necessity, and its upgrade consequently allows our country, India, to progress. Good morning, everyone. I'm Bhavan Saurabh Gupta from Indus School, here to explore technology's impact on the welfare of our country. The phone was introduced in India in the form of those black, bulky rotatory devices we call telephones, the ones we now see as antiques. Soon they were enhanced to have push buttons, and then came the evolutionary cordless phones. They marked the epoch of communication as they represented a superior means to converse, with privacy and abundant talk time. It gave rise to the iconic cell phones, highlighting portability. They, however, are quite outdated when they compared with smartphones, a true technological marvel. When they entered the market, they shifted the paradigm. Smartphones paved ways for innovative ideas of doing things. With their extensive reach, even people in villages have access to internet. So in recent COVID times, even the children would pursue their education via smartphones. Moreover, the Indian government has shifted many of its services online. Now it's very simple and convenient to log on to websites and file income tax returns or even pay challans. Earlier, it was time consuming to travel long distances and painfully wait in long lines. Adding on, it has made medical services readily available. There are apps now which monitor your health, like your sleep schedule and your heart rate. This is a helpful diagnostic tool. Plus, web consultancy services are available, and it's beneficial to patients whose sickness prevents them from traveling or those who want a quick regular checkup. Arguably, the single most prominent application in our neoteric times is cryptocurrency and net banking. Development in smartphone technologies like blockchain has made cryptocurrency secure, and the emergence of apps like Paytm and PayPal have made online payments possible and desirable. Now, with the single click of a button, you can manage your financial records without hassles. In foresight, smartphones are an ever expanding field with limitless applications. With the growth of AI and machine learning technologies infused with IoT, anything is possible, from facial recognition systems and virtual personal assistants to even medical diagnoses and self-driving cars. Really, the sky is the limit. Smartphones mean internet is accessible to one and everyone, and is fundamental for the development of the society. It's a never-ending endeavor, and as Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam rightly once said, as a young citizen of India, armed with technology and love for my nation, I realize small aim is a crime. Thank you.